Hey friends, Ash here with Gents. Hope you're doing really well. Today we're going to be talking about niche fragrances. More specifically, fragrances that most people can actually afford. Niche fragrances that you can pick up for under $100. For a lot of people, when you talk about niche fragrances, they just turn off. They don't get very interested because they think, oh, can't afford it. It's way too much. I'll never really want to spend that much money, so who cares? But in actuality, there are a lot of niche fragrances out there that are going to give you, in general, a higher quality fragrance, a more realistic smell, or a more unique smell than designers, and not really cost that much more than the designers do. Now, of course, there are niche fragrances that are just hella crazy expensive, but that's not what we're talking about today. So let's go ahead and jump into this, and I'll go over with you guys 5 niche fragrances that you can find consistently for under $100. Now we've got a pretty nice kind of mix of fragrances here. Some that are better for fall and winter, some that are better for summer. So a really nice smattering of styles here. And each one of these is from a different house. So really the houses that I'm gonna show you here today, you can find other fragrances from these houses for under $100. And if you guys are interested, I can do more of these in the future, kind of highlighting niche fragrances that you can pick up and not break the bank, but have something that smells really high quality. And again, like I said before, more unique. So the first fragrance I'm gonna talk to you guys about here today is one of my favorites from the house. You can pick this one up for under $100, but in the 60 milliliter size, not the size that I'm gonna show you here. That being said, you can find this at retail for under $100. So that means that if you find it at discounters, the 60 ml size, it's gonna be way less. Now it's $95 at retail. You can pick it up at Twisted Lily and use my code GENTS10 to get 10% off of that. So it's actually under 90 bucks. And I'll have a link in the description for all of these fragrances. And if it's one where you need to use my code GENTS10 to have it go under 100 bucks, I'll have that listed out too. It's this one right here, Mancera Oud Lemon Mint. This one is really solid and it's extremely versatile. It's actually a big compliment pulling fragrance too. So if that's important to you, this one can do that as well. It's got lemon, of course. It also has almond and oud, of course, also in the name of the fragrance, along with leather and vanilla. Now, interestingly enough, the name is Oud Lemon Mint, but mint is not an official note for some reason. This one is really, really, really nice though. My wife absolutely loves the fragrance. Really like the gradient on the bottle as well. The blue into the yellow at the bottom looks really good. Performance is fantastic. You can use it spring, you can use it summer, you can use it fall, you can use it winter. Though I would say in summer, don't go real heavy with it. It can be dense, can be heavy, can be cloying in high heat. So if you're gonna wear this one in high heat, don't go heavy at all. As I said though, people love this one. One of my absolute favorite Manceras. One of the ones that I think you should really pick up early on in checking this brand out, because this one does have a really nice uniqueness to it while still having that kind of designer appeal, if you want to call it that. As I said before, Mancera is a line that's really affordable. So you could explore most of this line and be able to pick them up for under 100 bucks. Some of the other ones that are really popular would be Windwood, Red Tobacco, and Cedrat Boisé. Those 3, very popular. Next up, let's go with one that's more for fall and winter. It's from Aqua de Parfum, and it's this one, Ombre 114. The size that you would be getting for under $100 is this size right here, which is 60 milliliters. Now this one retails for $105, so that's a little bit above 100, but you can use my code GENTS10, gets 10% off, and that will knock it below $100. Just barely, but still below 100 bucks. This one is a top-notch amber fragrance. So you're gonna have resinous sweetness, you're gonna have warmth, you're gonna have pops of spice. There's a rose note in here as well, though it's not super prominent. This one can go right up against some of the heavy hitters in the amber category. Fragrances like Ombre Sultan from Serge Lutens or Grand Soir from Maison Francis Kurkdjian. There's also vanilla in here, there's sandalwood, there's benzoin. So again, that kind of gives it more of that resinous warmth and depth. This one, absolutely killer in fall and winter, and one of the best Histoire de Parfum fragrances that you can find. So Ombre 114, even though it gets slept on a little bit, really, really good. Fantastic if you love amber fragrances, and a fall and winter staple. And good performance on that one as well. Now this next one you can find a 50 ml bottle of for $85 from Fragrance X as of when I'm filming this video. So this is not one that I'm giving you the retail price. This is from discounters. And truth be told, I have actually seen it way less than 85 bucks for 50 mils. This house in particular is one that just fluctuates like crazy on discounter sites. I've noticed sometimes you can find them for like $50, other times it's 90, it's just all over the place. And the fragrance is Timbuk II from L'Artisan Parfumé. And this is one of the best fragrances that Bertrand Duchaufour has ever done. I absolutely love this fragrance. I actually have a couple bottles of it. This one has incense, it has vetiver, it has papyrus, it has mango. There's a lot going on here. So you've got a little bit of fruity sweetness, but not a whole bunch. That's not really what the fragrance is about. As it dries down, it's more these dry woods and smoke that really just bring this one to life. It really jumps off your skin, smells like $1,000,000, just absolute classic. So with this one, that mix of the smoke with the woodiness and the spices and a little bit of sweetness for the mango, just really take this to the next level. This is an amazing fragrance. If you hear anybody talk about it, 99% of the time it's positive and for a good reason. And for under $100, that one is a complete steal. Like I said, the price fluctuates a lot. So if you can find that for, $50, $60, scoop it up, absolutely. One thing to know though, with that fragrance, it's not super duper youthful. So if you're somebody that's a teenager or your early 20s, maybe even mid 20s, you probably are not gonna be able to appreciate this as much as I think the fragrance deserves. So probably better for people in their late 20s and up at least. Fantastic though, fantastic. That one actually out of all of these, if I could keep just one, it'd be that one. Okay, the next one is $71 as of this video for a 75 ml size bottle from Fragrance X. And this one is a summer fragrance through and through. You can wear it in spring, you could maybe wear it early fall, but it's really just made for summer. And it's Errantia di Capri from Aqua de Parfum. This is another house, and also specifically this line, the Blue Mediterranean line, that you can find for really, really good prices from discounters. You can find these all the time for under $100. Sometimes you can find these in the $50, maybe $60 range. I own most of them. I've got a few of them over here. I've got some more over there. They're fantastic for summer. That's pretty much what this line is made for, as I mentioned before. This one is my favorite of the bunch, and it's because of the opening. The opening here is awesome. It has orange, bergamot, petitgrain, caramel, and musk, and it's really about the orange. The orange is what makes this fragrance. It's really one of the best orange openings that I have ever smelled. It's very realistic. It's a juicy orange, super appealing. Unfortunately, the performance on that one is not great, which you're gonna find pretty much across that whole line. The performance usually is, so-so, kind of like the Atelier Cologne fragrances. Concentrate a lot on citrus. Citrus goes away really quickly. Not a whole lot afterwards. I mean, there's cardamom in here a little bit. There's a little bit of caramel and musk, but don't go into it expecting some really super gourmandy caramel as it dries down, like this sticky, warm, sweet kind of vibe, because you're not gonna get a whole lot of it. You'll get a bit mixing with that musk, but that is mainly about the opening in the mid, where you can really pick up that citrus when it's really popping. It's awesome. I absolutely love it. But that one I wear pretty much for the first hour or two. Everything past that, I don't care a whole lot about. Still though, Really solid, a good fragrance to have in high heat situations where you just want something citric that's really appealing. And like I said, that goes for most of those. Fico di Amalfi, that's probably the most well known from this line, and that one is also awesome. That one makes a focus on fig, or has a focus on fig, and that's another one that's worth checking out. This last one is 81 bucks from FragranceNet as of this video. Again, if you're watching in the future, who knows? And that's for a 100 ml size bottle. And I think that was with the 25% off code. So if you use a 35% off code, obviously it's gonna be even less. And it's this one right here, Molecule 2 from Eccentric Molecules. You could also get any of the eccentric versions, Eccentric 01, Eccentric 02, or Molecule 1, Molecule 2, Molecule 3. Most of the time, those are all gonna be under 100 bucks. So Molecule 2 focuses on a single molecule, ambroxan. That's what you're gonna find in here. Molecule 1 is ISO-E Super, or ISO Gamma Super technically, but if you say ISO-E Super, more people are gonna understand it. So Molecule 1 is the one that's most well known. A lot of people will spray that on, say they can't even smell it. It gives kind of a light cedar smell. And a lot of people will layer that with other fragrances. It's actually a pretty good compliment puller, but this one I like more. This one with ambroxan gives you a really nice, slightly sweet, sort of fuzzy, almost warm, musky scent at times. It's really, really nice, very appealing, very easy to layer with other fragrances, or just wear on its own if you want something that's a little more subtle, that when people catch whiffs of it, they're really, really, really going to like. I know it sounds counterintuitive, you know, a fragrance that doesn't have a strong smell, or a fragrance that some people are gonna smell and go, it's rubbing alcohol. This smells like rubbing alcohol. I don't get anything. But believe it or not, that one is a fragrance that I've been complimented on heavily when I just wear it by itself. Again, it's a very subtle kind of scent. When people pick up on it, they're like, what is that? It smells great. But it is kind of fleeting, and it's kind of mercurial. It's just, you never know, you know, when you're gonna catch a whiff of it or when somebody else is. But when they do, really positive reactions. So there we go, Molecule 2. Again, you could also go with Molecule 1, Molecule 3, Eccentric 1, Eccentric 2, Eccentric 3, but for me, Molecule 1 and 2, those are the safest bets, and between those two, I actually prefer this one. Let me know in the comments a niche fragrance or indie fragrance that you think is just top notch that you can pick up for under 100 bucks. Believe it or not, there are a bunch of them out there, some of them at retail, some of them at discounters, but you can consistently find high quality niche fragrances without breaking the bank. And I actually think it's a really good idea to get some of these in your rotation if you don't. Maybe not specifically these 5 here, but more affordable niche fragrances. Like I mentioned a couple times, it's gonna set you apart more, the quality is typically higher, and they're more unique. It's a win-win. All right guys, that's gonna do it for me. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Again, if you want me to do more of these, let me know in the comments, and I'll be happy to highlight some more affordable niche fragrances for you guys. Thanks for your support. Thanks for staying until the end of the video, and I'll see you tomorrow with another fragrance video. Stay safe out there.